All right, boys, bring it in.
Welcome, fans, to a special episode of Coach's Corner, exclusively for YouTube. So, Coach, take it away.
All right, so we talk about very often about the play without the puck. A lot of times you'll hear the coaches talk about it, or on NHL Network, you'll hear the analysts talk about how players play away from the puck. Especially as defensemen, when you get caught puck watching, way back, I'm going to say in the 90s, 80s, and 90s, you were able to be more physical in front of the net, cross checking. Ulf Samuelson pushing the helmet off the back of the guy's from the back of the guy's head, giving him the business. Distractions. It was a lot more physical and brutal in front of the net. Graves' career was probably ended because of taking so many cross checks in the back. I shouldn't say ended; it was shortened. So then they instituted that rule where it was about getting position first. So I know a lot. Me and Little Ed talk about how Keandre hits behind the net and lets the guy go. So because they don't let you be as physical in front of the net, it's important to get position. This was the Chicago game when they tied it with no goalie. They had Jones was at the point here. They had a point man here. Two guys in front of the net. The ultimate goal scorer on the deflection was right here. They had a weak side forward and they had a forward supporting the play in the corner. The Rangers, on the other hand, had one guy on Jones, one guy here on the point. They had one guy down low over here. And then they had Trouba and Keandre here. What happened was Keandre, on that particular play, the puck was sent to Jones. Keandre was watching the play, thinking that he might come down to the corner. His eyes were this way. Instead of being on this guy immediately, Trouba turned at the last second to get on. I think that was Foligno, whatever. So this guy was left alone, which probably is the right play, because for the puck to get through this whole area to him on a one-timer would have been a phenomenal pass. Keandre, instead of playing the body on this guy immediately, lifting his stick and being on the play, got caught puck watching in this area, and Jones was able to get the shot this way, deflected, and the ultimate tying goal with a few seconds left on the play. So basically, like we keep talking about, without the puck, away from the puck, it's very important. Trouba could have probably gotten in on this guy a little earlier. He would have taken away that player and the passing lane, and Igor would not have to worry about that high slot shot. So he could possibly come out and challenge a little more. And Keandre leaving this guy alone lets him get the deflection a lot more easier than being on the body and under his stick. And by him getting on him quicker would not allow him to get an inside play on the puck or rebound if Jones's shot does get through to Igor. And then this player over here should be on him, and that's how it should go. Obviously, the play broke down, and Keandre didn't get there early enough. If you watch the play of the replay, you see his eyes looking at the puck and at this guy in the corner and forgetting about that guy in front. Do you guys have any questions on that?
You see Dickinson just kind of drift north a little bit towards the hash marks. He gets to the front of the crease, and then he kind of drifts north, and Keandre doesn't follow him. So at that point, if you're a young defenseman out there, when you see a player drift north, how do you fight that instinct of I'm a defenseman, I need to stay back towards the net? What's the decision making process there for that defenseman, in this case Keandre, to follow him?
Okay, well, like I said, the weak side guy, you have to let one guy open. Obviously, it's a 6-on-5 skating. So he's got to do the swivel head, look to his left, because the guy in the corner on the puck support down here is covered by the other Ranger. So he's got to do the swivel head, then immediately, again, with his reach and his skating ability, he should be on him in a split second. Jones did not fire that puck immediately. He had the puck. He made a little move towards the wall, and by doing that, gave time for that Dickinson to get up top a little bit more. We do a walk the line drill where the D walks the blue line and creates time for players to get in Igor's face or in deflection position or tip position, rebound position. So at that point, he's got to take a look at Jones, quick look to his left, see that we have him covered, and then take that one more step to get up into that guy's position in his face. It's always about, you can remember, I'm sure, as a young player, you taught swivel head. That USA Hockey 101 as a defenseman, play swivel head, know what you're going to do, know where everybody is, where you're going to hit pass the puck if you get it. And as an NHL defenseman, again, under pressure, you make mistakes. Human nature is to puck watch, just like the referees do, the fans do, everybody does. But in that situation, you got to be, if you're going to be that star caliber shutdown D, you got to be making that play.
Yeah, without a doubt. And that's what I've been touching on our regular episodes. Head on over to our full episode 113. He's just a step behind, and that play just right there shows it. Whereas, like, he's kind of too worried about the guy in the corner who's not as much of a threat at the moment, as opposed to just getting to the front of the net, using his foot speed, using his reach, like you said, and just taking away that option completely. And then if the puck ends up going to the corner, then you have to reset and almost kind of play it as a penalty kill at that point, right? Go down on one knee, take away the passing lanes. You know, obviously you have to read the play as it comes. But in my opinion, as our defense coach, is the first priority is in front of the net. And it's a very difficult thing to teach because, like you touched on, you're not really allowed to get away with a lot. You're not really allowed to battle the guy in front. I mean, the club hockey level, they let us get away with it. But like you see Chris Kreider, he just stands in front of the net on the power play untouched. The important aspect of that is, like we just said, you have to time it. You have to kind of see Jones at the point gearing up for that shot. I know it's hard because good players like Jones and Fox, they're able to fake those shots or do a hard shot pass instead, things like that. But you have to read the play and almost guess that they're going to try to get the puck to the net, especially up a man with less than a minute left, right? Or whatever time was left. You know, like, they're trying to get the puck to the net. So like Coach Ed's saying, you just got to get there a split second earlier, establish that position, time it well, and just lift that stick at the right point. And hopefully Igor can find it through the traffic and make the save.
Well, yeah, I think the key is to lift the stick, lifting the stick versus coming down over the stick. I feel like that's getting penalized more these days. It used to be tie them up, go down.
Yeah, they added that in as a hooking penalty, I believe, last year or the year before.
Yeah. Well, there's two things. I've been preaching since I've been coaching. I call it take no prisoner time. So with a minute left, no goalie, you got to, I don't care if you do whack the stick from the top down, you got to do something.
If you take a penalty at that point, it is what it is.
He did nothing. The guy pretty much had a free deflection at the stick, at the puck. And not to pick on Keandre a lot.
I think he even went for the stick. I mean, went for the puck, Keandre.
He went for the puck instead of the player.
Right.
And again, what's going on a lot, I remember when Eddie was at hockey camp, these are all things I learned over 40 years of watching different teams, different coaches at every level. Bob Hartley, who coached Colorado with Ruar in net and won a Stanley Cup, ran the camp in Hershey, and he did a drill, and they did hit and stick. And so in other words, what that means is if the defenseman's coming on the play, the opposing player is coming in here with the puck, and you hit him, you don't just bounce off and then just stand there. You bounce and stay with that guy. Even if you don't stick him and hold him in the boards, which you can't really do anymore, you hit him, and wherever he goes, you stay with him. You don't allow him to get to the front of the net. You don't give him that time and space. A player like McKinnon, if you're able to hit him behind that, if you're able to do that, then you got to stay with him the whole way. Keep your stick around his waist and keep your legs moving. And
Which he also made the mistake in that game.
You have to get position on that player. If you have the inside position, then the ref is not going to call an interference penalty. If you let him get by you and then you hook him and get your stick on the one glove, then you get the hooking and all that nonsense that goes on now.
That's what they're looking for. They're looking for those specific.
It's important to hit and stay with the player man on man until you're able to assess where the puck is and not let those elite players get open and be able to get open in front of the net. Now, what I've been noticing a lot, another puck watching situation, a lot of highlights on NHL. Vancouver did this 3 times in the last week. The D's getting it at the point. There's all kinds of traffic in front, taking a hard shot off the back wall, and the D is like going to get the puck, and this player is just beating him to it for a tap in. I saw it happen 3 times in highlights this week around the league.
Yeah.
So again,
I see that. It's more of a targeted play.
Yeah, if you're the D here and there's a forward here, instead of going for the puck and let it bounce and letting this player get a stick on it, you should be on that player until you're able to get body position and take it behind the net. That hard shot's coming off the wall. I'm sure they're working on it warm-ups and seeing the reaction of the puck off the back wall. But that's another thing. That's not puck watching. That's more or less learning from watching highlights. I mean, I don't know if they have time, but learning that that's a set play. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awareness. But Coach, isn't that more about the D at the blue line, adjusting to clogging the middle and just there's more of a value of just getting the puck through, right? So that you don't get a block shot, because then you just create traffic in front, maybe a deflection, a rebound, something like that. So it's more, it's like an intentional play by the defenseman.
Yeah, I mean, Girardi used to do it years ago. I'm not saying he innovated the game, but I know they used to do it. So say the D has it here and we got him covered, so he'll walk to get open. So our forward will go with him to clog the shot, and they'll just whiz it wide to get the back pressure, the bounce off the wall to create havoc in front. Even if they don't put it in on the first shot, they get it to the net, rebound, stuff happens in front, whistle, face off, and so on.
Or you start a cycle.
Right.
So, Coach, you're hard on Miller there, but on the Foligno play, on the second goal, it was a little different. Gustafsson. So Gustafsson's in front. Foligno comes in, leads with his elbow, kind of bodies Gustafsson a little bit, gains position, and at that point, you were talking about how you can't really beat up guys in front anymore, But what are you going to do to reestablish position on a guy like Foligno? Right? Like, I mean, your Gustafsson's not that small, I guess, but Foligno's a big guy. Like, you can't cross-check him, right? So, like, what is Gustafsson doing there? A lot of fans were critical of Gustafsson for not, clearing the crease, so to speak. And do you think, that's an important thing for the playoffs, that the Rangers need to be able to move guys out of the crease and when they're sitting right in front and they're trying to establish position offensively?
Well, unfortunately, in this day and age, these guys are pretty big on forward, and Foligno's not a small guy; he's a solid player. So once you lose that position, then we have to do like we said before. You have to get under his stick, not let him get a rebound, not let him get a shot. You have to do what you can if you're outmatched or you lose that leverage. Gustafsson's not small, but sometimes the forwards are better. Not better. I'm going to say they get an edge on you because you do take a split second. You get distracted. So at that point, you have to recover, get under his stick, and not let the rebound go. And hopefully you have a goalie that's going to stop the first shot and you're able to control a second shot. Again, once you make that mistake and you get out position, now you have to recover and do something. Not compounded on making 2 mistakes.
Yeah, and I remember, I mean, towards the end of my career, I guess they were trying to get rid of that part of the game, like the really like nasty stuff in front. So I remember it was all about timing, where I was trying to touch on it before, is like you kind of have to be aware of the guy in front of the net. I mean, if you want to get your stick under his, like even now, if you pick up the guy's stick, like he might let go of it or something, and the ref calls that. Like there's so many like different things that the referee, if he has it out, he's just gonna call like stupid penalties. So you got to be very careful. So like I said, you kind of just want to be aware of the guy in front. You can't really try to push him out of the way because that's also taking you out of the play. So not only is the guy going there to, just to establish position, he's also he's trying to take a defenseman completely out of the play. And it kind of sets up like a mini power play down low, because then that one defenseman is just wrapped up with the guy in front and the other defenseman just has to chase the puck around, So like I said, you kind of just want to be aware of the guy in front. and just time it. Whereas like you see the puck go out to the point, you know, a player like Seth Jones or a different defenseman who took the shot on the Gustafson play. You kind of got to know certain players are just going to rip that shot, you know. So you got to.
No, it was a pass in front. It was a pass from the corner in front to Foligno.
Gotcha. Well, either way, you know what I'm trying to say. They're trying to get it. They're trying to get it to the front of the net. So first chance, you think it's coming. You just want to get to that player, try and reestablish that position, pick up the stick, and then there's going to be a lot more. I don't know, like the referee's going to give you a little bit more leeway when the puck is there already. You know, like you can't.
Well, I think in the playoffs, you get a lot of leeway with that. So definitely. I think that's where
I was going to go with that too.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Well, as far as you're saying with picking up the stick and the guy lets go of it, that's another timing thing. You shouldn't be doing it when the puck isn't there. You should be in position and time that play. When he goes to deflect it, lift the stick up.
That's what I mean. Yeah, when the shot's coming.
What I learned a lot from watching Mark Messier and Buka Boom used to do it well. Maybe it's something Kevin Lowe did on the Oilers back in the day. If you can't get the stick, I try to show our guys, you're behind him. Push his elbow as the puck is coming. That's going to throw his top hand on the stick, and he's just going to lose control for that split second. He's not expecting it. All you got to do is push his elbow. You don't have to slash. You don't have to do anything. You know,
and everybody wraps guys up, and that's where you get a holding call, right? So pushing the elbow without holding. Don't hold. Just nudge
distract him a little bit. Just knock him off balance.
All you got to do is go about 6 inches, tap his elbow at the right time, and he loses control of the stick for that split second because he's not expecting it.
Or just pull the coach head and just slide the shaft of your stick up through your glove right into under the rib.
Well, that's a whole different story. The other thing I want to say
next Saturday.
And this is something that I see Schneider do very often and well, because I watch Schneider a lot because I like him away from the play. Say you have an opponent up in this corner, the puck is on this side of the net. Normally, what do we tell defensemen? And say that there's another forward down here, so one D is going to lean towards the corner, and you're the D that everybody always says, coaches, I want a D in front of the net, always in front of the net. So your last D is here. We should have a forward here in the high slot. They have a forward back here. Now, what normally happens is this forward's going to come to the front of the net. If this D's not paying attention to that, now he has to turn around. This forward has position already. Now he's got to get him out of there. So how do you counter that? You do a swivel head. You're watching the play as the D here. You see this guy coming, and you meet him at the circle. You don't wait for him to get to the front. So now you have position, and now he's got to get out, and you stay with him. Well, he goes this way, you stay with him. He's not in front of the net. You have to meet him before he gets there. That's the hard part because, again, the puck is on the strong side. You get caught watching. When you see you have help in front from a forward, then you have to turn and get your guy coming to the net already. If you watch Schneider, I think he does it well. And actually, Zach Jones did a great job in that game. He played in Colorado. I thought he did a great job of that. I watched him a lot. You know, when you don't have the size like Trouba where you can't get that guy out, you have to use that more often to stop that guy from getting to his spot.
I told you Jones would be a good play against Colorado. I called that.
Yeah, he did well. I watched him. He moved the puck real well. I thought he played great.
Yeah. Well, this has been a special episode of Coach's Corner with Coach Ed, sponsored by Bella Italia Marble for all your kitchen and bathroom, and Old Country Ceramic and Tile. Is that right? Is that the name? You took it off the logo.
Ceramic Tile.
Ceramic Tile. Old Country Ceramic Tile. So definitely check them out. If you're doing some renovations in your home, Coach Ed uses them all the time. And look on Instagram because we've been doing some I think we're gonna have some Coach Ed renovation videos coming. Have you posted any yet? I don't think so, right?
No, nothing yet.
But they're coming. He's got it.
Yeah, we'll get something going.
He's got it. He's got to do it. It's got to be a good one. I want to see something.
If anyone out there wants to be Coach Ed's personal cameraman, we need someone.
Oh, geez. All right. Check out the episode 113 on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, Google, everything. And thanks for watching Coach's Corner.
Let's go. Love
Let's
you
go,
guys.
fellas.